Hey guys, today we're talking about the two more religions that we're going to add onto our understanding of religion, and those are Hinduism and Buddhism. So the essential question for us to answer by the end of today is, how are Hinduism and Buddhism similar, and how are they different? So the yellow here is where the majority of people are Hindu, and the blue is where the majority of people are Buddhist. That doesn't mean that there are not Hindus over here, or Buddhists over here, or Christians or Muslims in either place. It just means that that's where the majority of people are. So there still is religious diversity. It's not uniform, but it is majority one religion or the other. So the first one is the polytheistic of Hinduism. Remember, polytheistic means many gods. This picture here shows a bunch of the different gods, certainly not all, but a lot of them, of the Hindu religion. Hindus also believe that people were divided into social classes in what was called the caste system. And the caste system divided people into like who's on top, who is at the next level, so on and so forth, until you get to the people who are all the way at the bottom. So the caste system really institutionalized inequality. It was based on the belief that not all people are created equal. And if not all people are created equal, this means that some people can be treated in an unfair and unequal way. So go to this link right here, bit.ly/DTAcast, to watch a video and learn more about the caste system before you answer these questions right here. All right, so a caste system, it was permanent. You could not change your place in the caste system throughout your entire life. However, when you died, then your place could change. And that was based on the idea of reincarnation and karma. So reincarnation, the Hindus believe that you are reborn again after you die, and what you are reborn as depends on what you do in life. So if you're a good person in life, then you will come back as a higher position in your second life or your next life. If you're a bad person in your life, then you'll come back as something that's even worse. So what you do in your life changes who your next life is. So there are 4 different categories, actually a 5th one, but we're going to add in a sec. But the first one is the Brahmin or priest. They're on top. They were the most powerful. Warriors and rulers are the next powerful. Common people in the middle, and then laborers and servants are all the way at the bottom. So there's a hierarchy of power in the caste system of Hinduism. So this is really just like feudalism, where there was a king and a lord, knights, and then peasants all the way at the bottom. So each of these, right, you've got somebody who's all the way at the top with the most power, and then further and further down, they get less and less power. That's very similar to the Hindu caste system. There was a group all the way at the bottom. There still is, but it's actually changing a little bit now. And that group was called the Untouchables. They were considered to be below the caste, and they would do the dirty jobs that nobody wanted, such as cleaning up the trash or salvaging things and selling them, or doing work with like meat and stuff that nobody wanted to have anything to do with those dirty things. So remember those key ideas of reincarnation, coming back to life after you die, and then karma. If you're a good person, then you come back as something better. Bad person, you come back as something worse. Buddhism is the next religion. Remember, this is in China, more so than in India, but also there are some Buddhists in India. It also extends down into Southeast Asia. So there was a guy named Siddhartha Gautama who was a Hindu when he started, or at the beginning of his life, and he founded the religion called Buddhism, which became popular in China. So later, when he began to teach what he had learned already, he started being called the Buddha, or the Enlightened One. Nowadays, the leader of Buddhism is called the Dalai Lama. So Siddhartha Gautama, he saw the inequality of the caste system, and he rejected that. So he wanted to start a new religion that had some of the ideas of Hinduism, but took away that caste system and took away that inequality. So lots of people welcomed Buddhist
Hi, everyone.
teachings because they did not support that inequality. So, which caste of people do you think would have most welcomed Buddhism? Exactly, the untouchables, the people all the way at the bottom who, now that they could join a new religion that did not say that they were unequal to everyone else, that was much better for them. So, Buddhism also kept those same ideas of reincarnation and karma. When you die, then you're reborn as something else, and what you do in your life comes back around. So you could be reborn as a fly that's going to get smashed in a second, or you could be reborn as the king or president or most powerful person, depending on how well you do in your life. So he said, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, he said that the key to happiness was to give up all worldly desires, not wanting anything. So, for example, would he approve of really wanting to buy a brand new car? No. Right? He says, give up those worldly desires, give up anything that you desire, and just pay attention to yourself. So, how do you do that? He had two ways to, and you had to use them both. There were four noble truths, and he also had something called the Eightfold Path to help you give up all your worldly desires. If you follow the Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths, then you will reach what's called nirvana, which is a state of eternal happiness. And that's according to Buddha. So if you can put away all those other thoughts and just focus on yourself and focus on the truth, then you will become eternally happy. You will have nirvana. So these are the Eightfold Path. You'll often see there's a picture of the Buddha, and these are all the things that you could do. Know the truth, say nothing to hurt other people, practice meditation, control your thoughts, resist evil, free your mind of evil, and work for the good of others, and respect life. That's the Eightfold Path that you need to take to reach nirvana. Here's another way of viewing it. You'll often see this icon right here that symbolizes the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. So there are lots of things that are similar and lots of things that are different about them. Take a look at this chart right here and then answer the questions that come up. How are they similar and how are they different? To learn more about Hinduism and Buddhism, before you answer those questions, go to this link, bit.ly/DTA Hindu Buddhism. It's kind of interesting. It talks about how, like, the development of one into the other, and it explains that a lot better than I did. Answer these couple questions right here, and then you're in good shape.